Hey, what's up? Extra here. Welcome to the Classic WRATH Phase 1 Retribution Paladin Bis list. As I mentioned in a Red Paladin guide, we'll be discussing about the Retribution Bis items in a separate video, and here we are. And if you guys missed the most complete WRATH Red Paladin PV guide, just click the top right corner and watch that first. I'd like to start from weapon, trinkets, and then other items. By the way, I'm using sockets to get hit and expertise cap in case you might get curious on the sockets. So as you may know, Betrayer of Humanity is the highest item level weapon you can have in phase 1, which is 226. It's from KT 25 man next. And as a Red Paladin, you won't see any competition on this one because you won't see many two-handed wearers in phase 1, so it should be easy to get it. And I would say you can have either Death Spite from 10 man KT or Black Ice from Eye of Eternity till you can get Betrayer of Humanity. They got both insane stats for red, and the enchant should be Berserking. It just gets you 400 attack power, and it's just basically made for red pallies. Don't bother yourself using Executioner. Armor penetration is the lowest priority for red. So this one is your Bis Libram, and you should get 1930 arena rating for this one. But as I mentioned in the guide, if you can't afford it, there are some other options too. There is one called Libram of Furious Blows that is rewarded for a questline in Borean Tundra that could possibly be your best Libram because it's not based on chance and it just gives you 60 critical strike on every judgment. Solid buff. There are two other options too that could be dropped in next from us, but they're not as strong as Furious Blows. Libram of Radiance increases Crusader Strike, but its damage is affected by armor since Crusader Strike deals weapon damage. And the other one says Judgment of Command has a chance that is somehow around 25% to give you 173 critical strike rating for 10 seconds. That kinda makes you to pray to the RNG god every time, so Furious Blows is the best you can have before Libram of Fortitude. One of your best trinkets is Fury of 5 Flights, which drops in the 25 man Obsidian Sanctum, and this trinket is absolutely crazy. Literally the best you can have. I mean, it's good for all melees, even hunters. That means it's a little bit hard for you to get it, but it should be prioritized for you somehow. Passive 320 attack power, and it's worth to mention that you can actually get multiple stacks using your Divine Storm if it hits multiple targets for sure. Same as hunters, if you multi-shot you can get 3 stacks. And we have the Dark Moon Greatness here, possibly the best strength proc trinket for phase 1. And you can also have Mirror of Truth, but that's just another option. And the reason Dark Moon Trinket is a bit better is because of higher duration and uptime. So the 2 and 4 piece tier sets for red are absolutely great, you gotta have them. They just are solid buffs to Divine Storm and Judgments. Hence we can sacrifice 1 out of 5 pieces for damage upgrade, and the best option though is the gloves. Frosted handguards are maybe the best option here, and many melee DDs will be looking after them, so you may have a hard time. So we'll be using 50 attack power and 20 critical enchant on the helm from Knights of the Ebon Blade Exalted, 40 attack power, 15 critical from Sons of Odir Exalted, 10 plus all stats on the chest piece, and hyper speed acceleration on the gloves. If you've seen my red guide, you must have known that these enchants are so damn crazy on Retribution because it just has the same CD as Haste Potion, and you can actually kind of make a macro and it just gives you tons of haste, and it's just what you need to stack up Seal of Vengeance. Or you can just wait for 5 stacks and pop it with wings and go ham. So Favor of Dragon Queen in my opinion could possibly be the best neck you can have. It's rewarded from Saffron quest that brings you to the Eye of Eternity, and it's got a little armor penetration on it, but still it's the best you can get. Technically the highest item level. Drip of Deadly Foe, of course, from KT 25 man. And I would choose Sword Guard for the Cloak enchant because it's too strong. I mean, random attack power procs is just insane for Red Paladin, and imagine having kind of both Berserking and Sword Guard at the same time. Red Pallies are so good at doing constant damage. Bracers of Unrelenting Attack are the best bracers, and there are some couple of other options you can have for sure, like this one, but since Unrelenting Attack has an extra socket, you can aim to get that and use 50 plus attack power enchant. And of course it comes from Noth in next 25 man. And I'll be choosing Girdle of Vesuvius because of the extra expertise on it, and there's some other options too, but you might end up with expertise issues. It can be fixed with expertise socket though, but anyway, it can be dropped from Instructor Vesuvius 25 man next, and you can actually open an extra socket on builds using its enchant. And in case you didn't know, if you got engineering, you can enchant frag builds after opening extra socket. It actually works. So although it's not something huge, but it can actually be a good thing to have in big pools, since its damage is not soft capped and will not be shared, but also it encaps the whole pack for 3 seconds. Don't forget to have the 10 plus all stats prismatic socket in this one. I forgot to mention that in the Red Paladin guide. And moving on to boots, I think Sabadons from Anubra are the best for red. You can get nice crit and haste off of them, and there are a bunch of other boots you can go for also if you need expertise or hit rating, or even if you want to sacrifice strength for agility. But there's also a higher eye level one you can get, but unfortunately it's got armor penetration, which has the least priority. So I would stay with Sabadons or probably Foot Traps of Wild Deceit for a bit higher damage. I mean, I'm not pretty sure, but I think these could be possibly just a bit better than Sabadons, and we can fit in a strength critical orange socket in there. So any of them might work in my opinion. And Foot Wraps drop from Lothab 25 man next though. And the enchant we're using is Nitro Boost, of course. Nitro is mandatory for red because of lacking any gap closer ability, plus 24 critical strike rating. So rings, 2 rings I'm going to be using are Ruthlessness from 25 man Fairlina to fix my hit rating, and the Surge Needle, which is dropped from Maligus in Eye of Eternity, that has a nice amount of expertise. These two are potentially the best 2 rings you can have that kinda get you to hit rating and expertise cap with these items, and you'll only be able to enchant rings if you're a jewel crafter, and if you are so, you can have 40 plus attack power on each. Yeah, so that's it for Red Paladin Phase 1 base items. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Wish you guys the best, and we'll see you in the next one.